2021 has been a good year for coasters, even though half of the coasters that were going to open this year didn't open. Rides like Pantheon and Ironguazi are examples of this. However, we still got some elite coasters this year, like Velocicoaster or Ride to Happiness. So I thought it would be a good idea to go back to the start of the year and look back at all the new coasters that opened. The year started off with not too many coasters opening. However, in April, theme parks started to reopen. The only new coaster that opened in 2021 that I rode was Storm Chaser at Paultons Park. This is a clone of Sierra Sidewinder at Knott's Berry Farm. However, I think this is a superior ride to that, as this ride has tons of theming and is located at a brand new part of the park. This is a great fit for Paultons Park and a great coaster in general that almost cracks my top 10. The next month, Stunt Pilot opened up at Silverwood. This is an RMC Raptor, so it will have an aggressive layout. Silverwood is literally right next to RMC's manufacturing building, so it was about time that they got one. I think this one is a perfect fit. Out of any of the RMCs, this one is the type they needed the most, as before Stunt Pilot, Silverwood's best coaster was Aftershock, a Vekoma inverted boomerang. Also, something I thought was funny is that Aftershock was announced, built and tested and opened whilst Ironguazi and Pantheon were just sitting there literally doing nothing. I am sure that this ride is a great fit for Silverwood and a top 15 worthy coaster, as Railblazer and Wonder Woman are regarded as one. Another ride that opened up during May is Conda. This was easily one of my most anticipated coasters to open this year, so when the official POV came out and people started doing reviews on it, I was very happy. This ride is the best layout for any mega coaster, which is why I was so excited for it to open. It is also a perfect fit for Walibi Belgium. Also have not been on this ride, it is definitely a bucket list coaster for me. This looks easily to be one of the best Intamins, if it is as good as people say it is. It has a lot of RMC inspired element that looks so cool and weird at the same time. This was easily one of the best coasters that opened this year and it got rave reviews. I can't wait to ride this one day as it is one of my top bucket list coasters. Also, Adventureland got a free spin. This is the exact same as any other free spin, so yay, I guess. During June, Velocicoaster opened. This was one of my most anticipated coasters to open this year, so it was good that it opened, unlike Ironguazi. A lot of people are saying that this is a complete ride experience and that there are no flaws. I can definitely see that, and I'm very excited to hopefully ride it next year. This ride is a great layout and fits so well for runners of adventure. Seeing this ride across the lagoon would be one of the coolest views on any coaster. This ride also has a lot of airtime, 12 seconds of it to be exact, and all the airtime will be ejector, and with those super comfortable and open restraints, I am sure you will be able to feel all that airtime. This is definitely the best coaster to open this year, and one coaster that I just have to ride. Another ride that opened in June this year is Monster at Groenland. This looks like an upper middle tier invert, as its layout is very different to any other. In my review of Nemesis, I said that this is the most unique layout of any invert, but actually, I think Monster has the most unique layout of any invert. It doesn't even have a vertical loop. Instead, it has a variety of floaty inversions and intense leg-numbing helixes, all while swooping around and under pre-existing rides and buildings. This ride looks beautiful and is definitely the sleeper hit of 2021. I think when people ride this, they're going to be surprised because it looks very unique and a fun layout for an inverted coaster, and it's starting to show B&M doing more unconventional designs and layouts. Oh, I almost forgot the dumpster fire of a coaster that is Jersey Devil. This is probably the biggest disappointment of a coaster to open this year. People are saying that this ride is the worst RMC, and I can see that. It's just so slow. Like look at Stunt Pilot. That thing flies through the layout, and then look at Jersey Devil. It's literally going at a snail's pace through these elements. The only good element on this ride is the stall that benefits from the slowness. My expectations for this ride were originally really high. I thought it was going to be as fast as the smaller Raptors, but that's just not the case, sadly. Let's move on to a better coaster. The most underhyped coaster to open this year is called Ride to Happiness. People are saying that this is a masterpiece. There doesn't look to be a single dead spot on the ride, and the spinning has been amplified and is crazier than the original Mack Ride spinner. All of the inversions look whippy and forceful, and some even say that this ride could be their number one in the world. And I can see why. This ride flies through every element, and the spinning makes that even more crazy. This looks like one of the best coasters to be constructed by Mack, and Mack Rides has made one of their best creations yet with this coaster. Well done, Mack Rides. You made an intense coaster. Energylandia. You know that theme park in Poland that's got like 20 coasters in 8 years with no signs of stopping anytime soon? Yeah, they opened Abyssus. This ride looks good, not the best, just good. It looks to have lots of fun airtime moments and lots of whippy inversions. It has some intense spots as well as some, however, some of the off-axis hills don't look to deliver any airtime. Whilst a lot of new gen Vekomas look amazing, this one doesn't look to be the best. It has a great layout with some good forces. I don't think it will have the most thrilling experience. In general, I don't think it was a good fit for Energylandia since they already had Formula, but it looks like a fun crowd pleaser that has some cool theming and is in a whole new area. Blue Power is one of the only Mack Power splashes that is open, and it looks really fun. They are compact rides and great for small parks that have lakes. I don't know what else to say about this. However, it does look like a fun ride, but delivers some decent forces. A new theme park also opened up this year, as Universal Studios Beijing finally opened up its gates to the public. Its headlining attraction is Decepticoaster, a clone of the Incredible Hulk coaster at Islands of Adventure in Florida. This whole theme park looks great fun, and Decepticoaster is a headlining attraction. It's a good headlining attraction, as Hulk looks really intense. It's kind of weird, however, that B&M are making another sit-down coaster, as they kind of abandoned that model years ago. However, I'm not complaining, as old-school B&Ms are very intense and deliver fun ride experiences. I'm curious at how much investment this park will get in the future, and if it will get any more coasters. Around this time, we started seeing new ride announcements. Wonder Woman is a clone of the Jersey Devil coaster, so no one's expecting that to be the best. However, it will be Six Flags Magic Mountain's 20th coaster, which is cool. The ride that I am most excited for, however, out of these two, is Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger. God, that's a mouthful. This is a B&M dive coaster with a 95-degree drop. This means that B&Ms are an option for Six Flags again, which is really cool, as B&M makes some of my favourite coasters. No coasters opened for a while, however what did happen was IAAPA 2021. This is an event that happens every year where companies announce new coasters and stuff. This year, Funspot Atlanta, of all places, announced the best coaster to open next year, Airy Force One. This is definitely going to be the second best, or maybe even the best RMC in America. This thing's layout is just so good. It's long, it's got airtime, it's got intensity. Everything you want from an RMC is here, and it looks like an easy top 5 coaster. And I would love to get to ride it one day. Another ride that opened at IAAPA was Palindrome. This is the best name for any coaster this year, easily. This ride looks like a lot of fun, but nothing top 20 worthy. But it shows Gerstlauer doing some more funky elements. Whilst I am slightly disappointed that Cedar Point didn't get their 16 inversion Gerstlauer, or whatever people were saying, I think this one makes a lot more sense. The idea of calling a ride that goes forwards and backwards Palindrome is genius. Whoever comes up with that needs to get some raves. I am also interested as to how this vertical airtime and the backward spike will feel, or if it will give any airtime at all. After IAAPA in November, an almost clone of Cheetah Hunt opened called Light of the Revenge. This ride looks faster and more intense than Cheetah Hunt. However, there are some sections of altered track which give it the more intense experience and more airtime. This ride looks like a lot of fun and has a great colour scheme. During December, Steel Taipan opened in Australia. This looks like a fun Mack launch coaster, as it is a clone of Blue Fire at Europa Park. People complain about clones of it being everywhere, however I can't blame parks. These things are crowd pleasers with their twisted inversions, heavy layouts. They have higher capacity than most B&Ms and just don't take up much space. These rides, whilst not having the best launches, have fun layouts. And whilst I have not done an exact clone, Icon at Blackwell Pleasure Beach is the same type of ride, and that is a number 1 coaster for me. So I think these rides get a lot of unnecessary hate. Another Australian coaster that also has launched to open in December was Big Dipper. This is the first Intamin hot racer to ever be built, and it looks like a fine ride. I was fairly disappointed when I saw the POVs of this ride when it was first announced. I thought it was quite slow and didn't look as good as the Raptors. I thought that Intamin hot races in general are pretty slow, and I think Intamin should have done something more creative than make a single aero coaster with a launch. However, when the official POV was released, my opinions on the ride changed. I thought this ride looks miles better than Jersey Devil, and it looks really fun. This ride also has a very unique layout, as it curves between lots of buildings and has some great near misses. The final ride to open literally on the 31st of December is All Speed. This is a clone of Taron at Phantasialands and looks just as good as the original. This ride looks like it takes place in the Grand Canyon, which would be a pretty cool feeling as it is the same ride as Taron, and that looks crazy, and I'll be experiencing it later this year. It still is some pretty lazy though for them not to make an original layout, but come on, like, it's Taron, one of the greatest coasters ever made. This ride looks like an enjoyable ride experience that almost replicates Taron's incredible rock work and theming. And now we get to the start of 2022. Let's just hope that Iron Gwazi finally opens.